Hello there. If you are thinking of hiring employees, or rather of transferring employees from your foreign company to Canada, the location in Canada where they're going to be working from is going to be crucial. Work location is important. And given recent changes to Canada's immigration program, it is going to become even more important for you to be very aware and familiar with the rules around where in Canada your employee may or may not be able to work from. Hi there, welcome back. My name is Donovan Francis. I'm a Canadian immigration lawyer at GOOSELAW Immigration, where we help companies, businesses with securing their employees' work authorization and save them all the legal hassle of having to do that themselves. In this video, we're going to be talking about the importance of work location in Canada, where you are securing a work permit for an employee under the Intra-Company Transferee Program, ICT. Now, multinational companies, that is, companies that have an office in Canada and at least 2 other offices outside of Canada in 2 other countries, may be able to apply for work permits for multiple employees to work in their Canadian company, providing very specific type of duties. One of the requirements in order for this work permit application to be successful is that the employer must, the Canadian employer who's applying for the work permit on behalf of their employee that they want to transfer to Canada, the Canadian employee must be clear about where in Canada the employee is going to work. And this is important for a number of reasons. Perhaps the primary reason is because that will determine the salary at which the employee will have to be paid. Now, one of the requirements under Canada's immigration rules, and specifically under the ICT, among other immigration programs, is that the foreign national coming to Canada must be paid at what's called the median prevailing wage. In Canada, every location and every job type has a specific hourly wage that's tied to it. And this is applicable to foreign nationals wanting to come and work inside Canada. So an employer wishing to bring somebody to Canada to work will have to ensure that wherever that person is going to be working in Canada, that the employee is going to be paid at the advertised rate that the Canadian government has on its website. So for instance, if you're thinking of bringing an employee to work in the province of Saskatchewan, and specifically, in the city of Saskatoon in Saskatchewan, and that person is coming in a very specific role, that person may be coming as, an engineer, or maybe a software engineer. That person is a software engineer who's coming to work in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Then the employer will have to ensure that the current prevailing wage, a current hourly salary for an engineer, a software engineer in the city of Saskatoon, that they are paying this new employee that at least the minimum wage that's advertised for that specific location. Bear in mind that wages may differ depending on location, because elsewhere in Saskatchewan, the wage may be different. In another city or in another part of the province, the advertised median prevailing wage may be different for the very same role. So the employer has to ensure that the employee they're wanting to bring to Canada is going to be compensated at the salary that's advertised by the immigration authorities. And that salary is going to be dictated by the specific location in Canada where the employee is going to be working from. Now, if it turns out that that employee comes to Canada and the work permit was approved based on a location in Saskatoon, and then that employee ends up working from another location, then that's going to be a breach of the conditions, right? Because it is not only will the mere fact that the location is different be an issue, but the salary may also be different depending, the salary requirement may also be different depending on what that location, where that location is and what that location is. So that's going to be important. So that's a critical factor that goes into, that explains why the location, work location in Canada is a crucial part of these applications and why an employer must get that right. Now, in addition to that, there have been recent changes that restrict the ability of the employee to work remotely. Some employers may have jobs at a client site in a specific location and may have completed their employee's work permit application with that client location as the place where the employee will be working from. But the nature of the work that the employee may be doing, some aspects of that work they may be able to do it remotely. They may go to the client site on occasion, but the bulk of the work is being done remotely or being done from an office someplace else, even though the work location that would have been indicated on the work permit is different from where they're physically located. Now, the rules have been adjusted to restrict an employee's ability to work remotely after having been approved for a work permit to work at a specific location inside Canada. And so this is going to be very important for an employer who is contemplating bringing in employees inside Canada, or even for employers who currently have employees working inside Canada, but who may be doing this work remotely. Okay, so this is one change that you will need to bear in mind. I trust that you found value from this video. As always, remember to like our videos so others may see more videos like this. Subscribe to our channel and check us out on go.gooselaw.com. Thanks. See you again.